So welcome all. My name is Maurice van der Raa. I'm a Senior Product Sales Manager and Solution Architect within the Industrial IoT group of Advantech in Europe. To give you a little background, who is Advantech? We started about 40 years ago with an IEEE card in Taiwan. There's our headquarters. Now with roughly 8,500 people working on a global scale on technologies like Industry 4.0, service IoT, smart city, embedded computing. That is our core business, and Micron is one of our technology partners where we work very closely together with, because, and that's also what we want to show here, related to the edge and especially the AI that is becoming very hot these days. So why edge for AIoT, you may ask? And that is because we are processing in industry a lot of data these days. And that data needs to be processed somewhere. And to do that all in the cloud gives us a little bit of a challenge because of real-time processes, latency issues that you can expect. With a decentralized environment, you don't have that. Cost, sending all the data to the cloud via either 5G, LTE, and so on, is costing a lot of money. Infrastructure costs are very high to manage that, and last but not least, to get all that data back is also a big of a trouble, because also there the cloud service providers ask a lot of money. And the last one is safety, because we are mainly in the processing of the data, and processing data is mainly on-prem done, and they don't want the IP of the company in the cloud somewhere that somebody can easily hack. So most of the time it's off-grid. So for that we created the ecosystem. And what does the ecosystem say? We start always from a technology standpoint. Technology is where the acceleration is done. So think about companies like NVIDIA and Intel, AMD, Xilinx technology. But technology is not only that. You also have technology from partners like Micron, because we need to validate if the memory, if the storage is working properly under certain temperatures and conditions in the edge environment. Then we build the devices out of that. So that's the second pillar. After that, the independent software vendors, we call them ISVs, the companies that write the deep learning code, the AI, they build their software on the hardware. They validate that, they test it. So we certainly know that in certain market conditions and vertical markets, these applications will run very smooth with a certain amount of frames per second that you want to hit. Then the applications get installed. Most of the time they are system integrators who do the installation in the end at the end user. Now this is a broad overview. Now we're going to make it more simplified. So here you can see some of our technology partners where we work very close with. Of course also cloud service providers, because in some cases customers still want to connect to the cloud. You can think about retail type of applications, that is, cloud data is not really a big issue. We make different kind of technology. So from the far edge, that is where the sensor is connected to the device that grabs all the data, reads the data out, say if it's right or wrong, and then processes it to the edge server, where you can do edge training, but also edge inferencing. And last but not least, if customer wants to have a private stack, then we also have our Y-Stack solutions, which is a full cabinet that can create an on-premise cloud-based infrastructure. So connecting back to the IT network of the organization. The middleware is, let's say, where the ISVs connect to the technology of the acceleration company, in this case NVIDIA. So we have a very close relationship with NVIDIA and on that side because of all the tool sets. And after that, there come the domain focused system integrators and the value-added distribution partners who help on planning and managing the end installation at the end user side. So now why do we work with companies like Micron in this case? Micron has a very wide product offering, and they also support us from a longevity point of view, because most of our customers want at least 7 to 10 years and sometimes even 15 years longevity on the product. without any change. And if then a change is happening, they want to have a revision control process. So they want to be in advance notified that something is changing. Not that when we are changing a component that they don't know, and then on the software side of things, things go wrong and they don't know what went wrong. So all these typical tests that we do in the embedded market space is what make our companies work already for such a long time together to make sure that the hardware can run for a longer period of time. Now, two of the products that we have here, one is our AI box for more ruggedized environments, so heavy industry, AGVs, etc. As you can see, it comes all with M12 connectors. What we place inside here from Micron is M.2 storage, so it's customer upgradable. It's a 2280 module. And well, it has wide operating temperature, so our advice is also to go for the wide operating temperature M.2, the minus 40 plus 85 ones, to manage that this is fully supported. It's based on NVIDIA Jetson Xavier NX, which is quite a popular platform, and soon it will be replaced by Orin NX. But this product will still stay alive, of course. And another product that we are showing is the one on the left, the edge servers, because we see that, as I said, edge is becoming much more important, much more data needs to be processed, and not always a small edge device can process from a lot of sensors all the data. So many of our customers are also using these short depth servers, MEC, multi-access servers, which can be positioned in different environments, going from next to the road in a cabinet, but also in a machine, to analyze the data for optical inspection. Yeah, so you see we have different types of servers that are following different types of markets. Now, some of the use cases I wanted to show you, because it's always important to show some examples of Edge AI that we also did together with Micron's technology. So this is all collaborations within the ecosystem. So everything is tested, runs perfectly. Left side you see Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. They wanted to become the most advanced digital airport in Europe. And normally they make an area scan of a terminal. And an area scan for them is costing around 250,000 euros per terminal. And they have 3 terminals. So you can imagine they need to do that each quarter. But what do they exactly do? They scan if there are maybe light fixtures, if they are broken, so they need to be replaced. If there are certain sprinklers that are being blocked or something like that, or access points that are not working, the scanner will do that. But they said, no, we need to do that in a different way. We need to use our existing infrastructure. So they work together with Bosch as a system integrator who manages the whole camera security infrastructure. But now comes the critical part. In Europe we have the Gdpr. I don't know the German naming of that, but it's the identity that they don't steal your data and that they cannot use your data. So what we needed to do first is we need to anonymize the people, and you can see that it's live that we do that. So people are walking and the scale is following the people, and sometimes you see a glitch. That is a bag that a person is wearing. We can even anonymize that, but we didn't focus on that here. So after this, we can do the checking of if there are trolleys standing somewhere where they shouldn't stand, and somebody can immediately take action to move them away to the designated area, but also can check if people are doing suspicious behavior. And after that, we can push it to the VMS and check which person it was, and we can completely track it down, what he was doing, where he was going, and what he left somewhere. Now the other application you see here on the top is weave inspection. So that is a line scanning application for machine vision, where the companies RoboVision and Viewmore helped out. Viewmore is the system integrator, RoboVision is the AI company, and they did the inspection on the big roll and check for imperfections. Normally you do that with typical computer vision based algorithms, but here they added on top of that an AI algorithm, deep learning, to be even more precise and finding out the imperfections in the weaving. And here on the right side, you will see a robot with a camera on top, and the robot is learning which plants it picks up and then positions it in the middle of the pot. So they can, one, do the identification and then product placement in a correct way, so that the plant will be perfectly growing in the right size and dimensions. And if he cannot grip it, because the gripper is very important in this kind of application, you don't want to have the gripper that's too hard, because then it breaks the stem. The belt pops up, and then it can shift it around and grab the plant in a correct way. And that's it for now. We have a wide range of technologies, going from a very small compact industrial PC up to panel PCs, rack mounts, and so on.